Hi, welcome to another episode of of my CEO journeys where I share what I've been doing on building a business. So I'm currently on my project of restarting. So it is episode 11. For those who have just tuned in, last year I had taken a pause. I decided to start and then I took a pause to reflect. And then in the new year, I'm starting over again. So this is sprint 2, and here to share what I've done in this sprint. So just like how I usually do it, I share what was planned, what did I accomplish, and then what's next. So, what I had planned for this are the things in the completed. I did have to, unexpectedly, I forgot since it's been a year since I formed the company, is that I had to deal with a new registered agent. So, the first year when I first started the business, I used a service where it came 1 year free. And that year has expired and they charged me. And to my surprise, I had forgotten about it. But in the state of Texas, we are required to have, I think, a full time, not full time, but a location and an agent that is able to receive mail during business hours. So now there's these services, and I think other states might have it too. The other thing is new social media accounts, starting a content schedule, and then developing self management series, episodes 3 and 4. So I didn't set up the Actually, I did end up setting up the podcast on YouTube quite easily. If you've ever played with this, is in YouTube, you can actually turn any playlist into a podcast. So I just turned the self managed one into one just to see what that does. And then I still have yet to develop episode 4 of the self management training series. This is the Sprint 2 schedule. Today is the 5th, so this is the final demo and release. Again, I'm using an agile methodology just because that is my background and I'm comfortable with that. And it gives me a good cadence into developing new, I guess, new either products or new kind of business setup. So I'm still using the 7-step startup. This is the same process that I had kind of defined after research. So I'm really in like step 7 of setting up trying to market a product. So with this is for those of you who are in the state of Texas or wanting to form something in the state of Texas. I mentioned there is a registered agent, and that like my first year expired, so I had to go find one. I'm glad I found something for a 3-year service. I just want to set it and not forget it for a little bit because 1 year does come up really fast. So I found a service that does that. And then instead of before, I was kind of scared to file my own forms just because I think the state system is kind of complicated. But now that I created an account and went in there. It isn't the most user friendly, but it is doable and pretty simple. So for $15, I did file to change a registered agent. And this is a lesson learned for those of you who are starting in Texas. For whatever reason, when I changed my registered agent, it also changed my business mailing in the comptroller system, which is the comptroller office is responsible for collecting sales tax or franchise tax. Not sure why that happened, but the registered agent found it and notified me and said, you're in violation of our service contract. So anyway, so then I had to file something else in the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts to change my mailing address. So just a lesson learned. I guess it's pretty common that for whatever reason, the state of Texas, when I file a change with the secretary of the state, it triggers a business mailing change, which should not happen. But that was free. So it's just a tip for any of you are also going through that. So then in the next, so that was done in the next couple weeks. The other thing is that we started new social media accounts. We don't have it. It's out there. We haven't really posted anything. What we're struggling with though is the Facebook and Instagram connection. It's because I have another business page per se and I've already linked it to an Instagram account. And now I'm trying to do a second one. It's not letting me. So anybody has any tips for that? Happy to hear. But but both of them are created. So there's an Evo Skills Facebook page, and then there's an Evo Skills Instagram page as well. That's pretty Fun. And then content schedule. So I simply Google and I found just from images, a simple one. So it's just simply list the platforms that I have or that we plan to have, and then a schedule Monday through, Sunday. This is the days of the week describing what we plan to post. So in this next sprint, we'll hope to fill it out some more. But for now, we are, I'm focusing on the CEO journey demos, and then also the self management series. So in the next slide, I've also, oh yeah, our self management training series. So I thought I'd just go over a little bit of the content. Tomorrow will be episode 3, which is about our evolutionary brain. In there, I talk about the difference just from an evolutionary perspective, how our brain is formed. This is part of a a series and part of the meta skills framework. So the series is for you if you're looking to develop essential life skills, you want to achieve greater personal and professional success, you want to improve your focus and productivity. And like I said, this is one of the core skill or discipline within the meta skills framework. Again, meta skills are the skills that help us learn other skills. So these are the skills that enable us to do that. So self-management, I've defined as ability to manage thoughts and behaviors to promote self-acceptance. So there's a whole series, and that will probably remain free for the time being. That's why I've posted on YouTube, so anybody can watch them. And then as I progress in the year, the other 3 meta skills are pattern recognition, organization, and storytelling. So these are, again, I think innate skills that help us learn others. So pattern recognition is our ability to utilize patterns to learn faster. So you might recognize that when you might take a concept, and just similar to metaphors, analogies, you might take a concept from a different subject and apply it to a new subject in order to help yourself learn faster. Third one, organization, is our ability to create process and system to improve efficiency. This is probably my favorite and probably the strongest, I would say, meta skill that I have. I'm a big systems thinker. You'll probably see that in my slides and processes, because I think if you're able to create a system or a process, it does bring efficiency. And the last one is storytelling, ability to effectively connect and knowledge share with others. Just like humans are innately desire to connect, right? To form relationships, and also for survival. This is our ability to connect, right? And share and to learn from each other. So in this series, in this framework, I also have defined a progression. So this will apply to all 4 meta skills, the 4 core meta skills that I've defined, which is feel, see, do, create. And the series currently where we're at right now is in the C skill, so level 2, which is about self-awareness. So objectively observe your internal self, body thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. I just think this is a much, I would say, possibly overlooked skill. I think for any process or any type of new skill, being able to observe and understand how things work will enable you to kind of tap into doing. A lot of times I feel like we kind of skip it and we just go do and take action for really understanding what it is that's happening. So, and the whole point of the series, and this is, if you will kind of set up the framework of the format that these courses will go, is to adding, I always think it's kind of like adding tools to your toolbox. So there are, so far, what I've covered in episode 1 and 2 is meditation, chain analysis, levels of self-awareness, and downward arrow. So those are available. We also have some free downloads as well as worksheets if you want to practice these skills. So I always say, even in my data analytics days or my corporate days, I always say, okay, no, just learn the tools, and the tools will help us solve the problem, any problem that we have. I'm not attached to specific tools. Analytics to me is also a tool. So it's really the problem we're trying to solve. So all this is just giving you different options. So when you face a scenario that is different, you can always pull the right tool to use whenever you want. And then, so the next steps are, I will announce the new social media accounts and maybe send some invites out. our content schedule, also share in a newsletter. And then tomorrow will be the third episode of the self-management series, which I do really like this one just because I always fascinated of how our internal kind of skills are driven by our response to survive and how that applies in the modern world. So we'll kind of tap into that. So I hope you'll join me in that. And then the next sprint, I plan to develop two more management modules just because I'm trying to release them weekly, and then develop a newsletter template. So for those who subscribe to the self management series, all the diagrams that I use and things like that can be shared for those who subscribe, and then add to our content schedule to begin posting, and then work on SEO tagging, seeing how what that is all about. But supposedly it helps with the search. So we're gonna dabble into that as well. So this is our sprint 3 schedule. In the next 2 weeks, it'll start on Friday and end on Thursday the 20th. In between, there is Valentine's Day and also a President's Day holiday. So even for me, I will be traveling in that weekend with my family and spend some time with them since my kids are off. It shouldn't impact the progress. So thank you for staying tuned. And just in honor of Valentine's Day, thank you for watching and hope you have a wonderful time. And if you do have a day off, enjoy your time off. Send any greetings, comments, or questions in